guys? Yes, I'm drinking my coffee this morning out of a pint glass. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I am obsessed with this social media growth program, slow growth, in-depth growth. That's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about how I've been documenting my Instagram growth with both of my bands, which has been going well, about 260 to 275 actual followers in a week. That does not sound huge because I'm not buying likes. I'm not going through some BS program that thinks they're going to get me 10,000 fans in a month. That's not really possible unless you have this gigantic budget that you're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for advertising. So this is going to be for free. Basically what we're doing is we want to spend time cultivating each fan individually and bringing them in to your band. So this is what I do. Now Instagram, you can only follow 7,500 people at a time. So you have to be careful with where you're finding your followers. I usually do it with a band that sounds similar to mine or a band that I've toured with. The problem is once you get to 7,500, you can't follow anymore, which means you can't message them and you're kind of stuck. So I use a program called Cleaner. Cleaner lets you see who is not following you back and you can unfollow them, which is great, except don't use it for that scammy, spammy, follow and then unfollow purging thing. This is just to unfollow the people that are not engaging with you so that you can engage with people who want to engage with you. That's the only reason, all right? And Instagram does look out for that. If you're adding a bunch of people and then getting rid of them and then adding them and then getting rid of them, that will cause a problem. So I wait until it gets to about 7,000 and then I go through a big cleaner program. Now you can go online and you can see how to use it. It's very, very easy. I'm not going to describe it here. Anyone who is watching this video on their phone or their laptop is going to know how to use that program. Now the other program is called Captivate. Captivate, same thing. I would go for the pro version of it. It's not very expensive, but it has a cloud version where it is adding and doing all these things with you not having to be on your phone, with you being asleep. It's great. And what that does is in the program, you can search for a band that's similar to yours. And then you kind of go, it'll show you like their last post. And you go to the last post and you can click on all the thousands and thousands of people that liked that last post. And then it selects them all and then it follows them. Now, this is not to grow your numbers quickly because that's bullshit. You don't actually want to grow your numbers super quickly, especially if you want a label to look at you and you have 25,000 Instagram followers and every time you post a video it has 40 views. They are going to cut you off. They do not want those numbers. They want actual interaction. So we have to get people who like your music, who will interact with you, and who maybe will buy the music, who knows. So every single person that ends up following back, I send them a message. Now, don't send them a copy and paste message. Also, don't send them a message that says, hey, with their screen name, all right? Because a lot of bots can do that. You want to stay far away from anything spammy, all right? Especially as a band. We have it a little tougher than, say, the little cupcake store down the street, People are very turned off, especially after MySpace, with band spam. And bands tend not to learn any of this marketing stuff, so they're so bad at it. So I send them a message, hey, whatever their actual name is, which you can usually find if you click on their profile, and then a nice little message, and then says, we have all our music up on Spotify for free. Everyone loves that word. Go check it out. I'd love to know what you think. All right, and that ending, I would love to know what you think, usually gets them to go ahead and listen and then respond. If they respond back, say thank you so much. I usually let the conversation go a little bit, ask them what other music they like. Now, I like figuring that out. I like talking to people. If I sit down at a bar and one of my favorite songs comes on and I notice the guy next to me likes it, I will talk to him about music. So this isn't about trying to get a sale out of people. It's about trying to understand people who like the music that you like and the music that you make. So then eventually I'll say like, hey, listen, we have all of our music for, for not all that expensive. I'll usually give the price, right now we have all 3 albums for $10 for digital download on Bandcamp. If you feel so inclined, that would be great. At that point, they're more likely to either keep listening or buy your music. Okay. So it takes about, a minute and a half, 2 minutes per person. And if you're only getting 15 to 30 followers, just depending on the day, that's not that much time, okay? You're talking about at most an hour. And I know you can spare an hour to do this. And it's way better than paying another company to do it who isn't you, who doesn't have a personal touch, who's probably using a bot. And you're gonna have to spend, probably about $100 on that, maybe $50. I'm not really sure. So you're spending $50 for something that you can do in an hour. All right. Now that'll snowball, that'll grow. People will start sharing your music and it'll just spread a little bit more. And the more that you do it, the bigger that it's going to get, the more sales that you're going to get. I recommend tracking it in a notebook, especially for you guys that use CD Baby. I can go back and say, wow, on this day, they usually do like a 6-week report period. On this day, we sold X amount of records on iTunes. And then you can go back and say, oh, that was the day that I sat and did this for 3 hours, So that's how I'm growing my Instagram. The reason you want to spend the time and go really deep with people is because the algorithms now, if you put out a piece of content, especially on Facebook, I think it only goes to about 2 to 3% of your following. And if nobody interacts with it, it dies. Which means if you have fake followers and you have, like, I even tell my clients, don't invite all your friends and your family to like your band page. Only because if they're not actual fans and they see it and they're not into your music, they're just there to kind of like support you, they might not interact with it, and then that'll die down too, and it won't spread. So you want people that are going to interact with your content and spread. Now, the reason being, everybody's going for social media numbers. There are kids that are getting signed solely based on social media numbers, but the numbers aren't the followers. Like I said, if you have 20,000 followers and only 40 people watch one of your videos, you will get X'd out by any label or any manager. They're just not going to be interested, right? And they're going to know that you kind of have a tactic. So they're going to look more for content interaction than they are going to be looking for high numbers. That being said, do not fall for the bullshit programs of 10,000 fans in a month. That is fucking impossible. Unless you're spending, God knows how, I don't even know how much money that would cost to get 10,000 actual fans. They're talking about 10,000 likes. You might as well go on some bullshit website and buy a bunch of likes or buy a bunch of Instagram followers from all over the world who don't give a shit. They're just there to like. There's people that have multiple Instagram accounts that get paid, a little bit for each person that they follow by these big bots and these big groups. Stay away from that. All right, this is how you're going to grow it. It's going to be a marathon, but you're going to see it grow. Don't forget to post. If somebody you see consistently liking your stuff or consistently commenting, always comment back, not only just to be nice, but the more interaction that happens under each post, the more that's going to spread. And just really, really get your community up. I know that's not what everyone wants to hear. They want to hear the get-rich-quick scheme, and it does not work. So I wanted to give a full video on how I'm doing that. I do spend about an hour or two each day. You can go even more in depth and go to like a band that you like and then see all the people that commented on their posts and say like, oh man, I just saw them, in Philly last week. They were fucking awesome, and just getting into that community. This tactic also works for Twitter. It works for Facebook. It's just being more personal and gaining your fans and having it all in your control until eventually you can pay someone to take it over or until a company will want to take it over. All right. So there's a lot of information there. Feel free to ask because I don't want to go through, Facebook ads and the algorithm numbers and how to use the apps Captivate for Instagram and Cleaner. But I think you guys got the general idea, and you'll see it grow, and it's super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have another one about Facebook ads. Thank you guys, love you.